Hi, today we're going to talk about the distributive property. So this is a property that we use in math all throughout math. You're going to use this the rest of high school and you're going to use it into college as well. It's very important and let's go. You'll see. So I'm just going to start by doing some examples for you. The distributive property is when we have some kind of number sitting outside of parentheses, and then there'll be numbers or letters or variables inside the parentheses. So what the distributive property says is that everything on the outside of the parentheses gets multiplied by everything on the inside of the parentheses. You'll always see me draw these lines. I want you to draw them too when you're doing these problems because it helps you keep track of where you are in multiplying things out. So my first multiplication is 6 times x. 6 times x is just 6x. Now I'm going to bring that plus sign down because that's not changing right now. And then I'm going to multiply the next number, 6 times 8, which is 48. So my answer is 6x plus 48. Let's try another one. We could have all numbers on the inside of our parentheses. Sometimes that happens. And if that does happen, you can certainly use order of operations and do the parentheses first. Or you can use the distributive property and do what we just did on the last problem. Both ways you're going to get the same answer. Let me show you. 2 plus 5, if I'm following order of operations, parentheses first, 2 plus 5 is 7. Bring down the 3. Remember, when two numbers are written next to each other, that means multiply. So I'm going to multiply 3 times 7, which is 21. Let's see if I use the distributive property, if I get the same answer. I'm going to change colors. So I'm going to draw my line to multiply by the first number. 3 times 2 is 6. Then I'm going to draw my second line. 3 times 5 is 15. Make sure you bring down that plus sign that's in the middle, because that's really important. It doesn't disappear. And then my last step will be to add these numbers. So 6 plus 15 is 21. And you see, we got the same answer. We did it two different ways. But in this lesson, you're specifically going to focus on using the distributive property to solve equations and expressions. So let's do a couple more examples. Let's do one more like this, and then I'm going to show you a couple of different things. So here we have 2 times 4 plus n. I'm going to use that distributive property and multiply everything on the outside by everything on the inside. 2 times 4 is 8, and 2 times n is 2n. Always bringing down that plus sign or whatever sign is in the middle, and that's as far as I can simplify this one because I can't add just a number with a number and a variable. I can't combine those two. So I'm done with that one. One last thing I wanted to show you is sometimes you will get the number on the outside of the parentheses at the end of the parentheses. You're still going to use the distributive property the same way. So I'm going to multiply everything on the outside by everything on the inside. 5 times x is 5x. And then 5 times 3, bringing down the plus sign, is 15. So it works the same way whether the number's on the front of the parentheses or the back. It doesn't matter. You're still going to distribute to everything on the inside. And one last thing I wanted to show you, why it's important to draw those little hoop lines, is because sometimes when you get further along in algebra, and you might actually see a couple examples in the book for this assignment today, you're going to have a number on the outside and you're going to have lots of things on the inside. So now you can see why it becomes so important to draw those little lines so you don't lose track of what you've already multiplied by. So on this one, if we're going to multiply 2 times x squared, that would be 2x squared. Bring down the sign. 2 times x. Bring down the next sign. 6x. And bring down that sign, and then 2 times 2 is 4. And then we would have to combine these two guys because they have like terms. So my final answer for this one would be, I'm running out of room. Hold on. There we go. My final answer would be 2x squared plus 2x plus 6x is 8x plus 4. And that would be my final answer. Okay. And that's all for today's lesson. If you have any questions, please email me and I will get right back to you to help you. Have a great day.